For those who knew Colin Powell, they say he was a larger-than-life figure. Peter Mansoor, the chair of the military history at Ohio State University, met Powell twice. He spoke to 10 TV's Kevin Landers about Powell's legacy.
He was a man of character, and that definitely comes through when you meet him in person.
Retired United States Army officer and military historian Professor Peter Mansoor says the passing of Colin Powell is a loss for the nation.
Colin Powell's legacy will be that he served the country to the best of his ability in uniform and as a civilian. He was the first Black chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff during a very tumultuous time that included the end of the Cold War and the first Gulf War.
Powell rose from humble beginnings to become one of the nation's greatest military leaders.
Well, this is the great success story. He grew up in the South Bronx. His parents were Jamaican immigrants. He went through New York public schools, and this is really, I think, a great example for young people to emulate, that you don't necessarily have to be a child of means to succeed, provided you work hard.
Powell was the national security advisor to President Ronald Reagan at the end of the Cold War. As chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, he was the architect of the invasion of Panama in 1989 and of the Persian Gulf War in 1991, which ousted Saddam Hussein from Kuwait but left him in power in Iraq.
An interesting legacy as a military leader. He wasn't necessarily for invading Iraq. He kind of put the brakes on the first Bush administration and made them really think through the support of the American people for that conflict.
In February of 2003, Powell addressed the nation to support the decision to invade Iraq, in which he detailed Saddam Hussein's possession of weapons of mass destruction. After troops invaded in March of that year, it was clear the intelligence was wrong. Powell later called it a blot on his record.
He should have interrogated the intelligence more closely, and had he done so, maybe the outcome of that time might have been different. The invasion of Iraq being probably the greatest strategic mistake in the history of the United States.
When Powell left office, he devoted his time to helping young people. In 1997, he founded America's Promise to help at-risk children. He would go on to win the Medal of Freedom twice. Kevin Landers, 10 TV News.
Powell was a Republican but supported Senator Barack Obama for president. During his time as chairman of the Joint Chiefs, he oversaw 28 crises. He was forced to resign by George W. Bush when he was reelected back in 2004. We are continuing to follow this major national story on our website, 10tv.com, and inside our 10TV free news app.